Well, it's common knowledge that vehicles depreciate in value, and RVs are a vehicle. RV stands for recreational vehicle, so they also depreciate in value. Again, this is common knowledge at this point, but never forget that common sense is not common, and never forget you have to remind yourself to keep yourself focused and on track. So why is it more risky to retire as a full-time RVer? Well, a full-time RVer is classified kind of technically as someone who lives full-time in their recreational vehicle, their RV, and they don't have a home base. And when you put all your net worth in depreciating assets, meaning these vehicles or these assets that depreciate, they go down in value over time, you are more vulnerable. One is, once you get into your late 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, you're in retirement age. So physically you may have limitations. Certainly you're not in the stage of life where you're going to build your career and take these extravagant promotions and increase your income. There's some exceptions, of course, but on average, the average person in the elderly years of their life are getting ready to do a little less, still enjoy their life, still have great quality of life, but they really enjoy the nest egg they built up. And when you put your nest egg in depreciating assets such as vehicles, RVs, cars, etc., and you don't have property that goes up in value over time, remember, real estate appreciates over time. Maybe not over a year, maybe not over 2, maybe not over 5, but 10, 20 years, real estate appreciates. And real estate, you could pull out equity, of course you could liquidate it, you could do sometimes reverse mortgages. Not that I recommend these things, but they're more of an appreciating asset. Therefore, banks, they're more of a valuable thing to banks and to others rather than a 10, 20-year-old vehicle. And when you're full-time RVing and you're putting your net worth in this depreciating asset and you're living on the road and you're renting a campground or you're staying at a Cracker Barrel or gym, you're putting yourself more vulnerable, more at risk. Of course, not to mention accidents. You lose your vehicle, you have something happen, and all the disruption of your daily routine, not having a home base to go back to. And a lot rent, if you just rented an RV lot, they average around $500 to $1,000 per month, and the $500 per month is going to put you probably out in the middle of nowhere, or not by nice shops, not by good internet. It's, you get what you pay for to a certain degree, and you would hope that one of your goals is by the time you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, you have a home base. Even if you want to live in your RV in that home base, you can legally live in it, whether you're going to own an RV lot in a community you like, in an area you like. And that's the value too of owning property. You want to anchor yourself in an area that you enjoy being most of your time. That way, if you get stuck there because you have to be homebound for a physical limitation, or there is a slowdown and you can't sell your house, you want to be where you're living. Okay, so when you're renting a campground, those fees are going to go up, and those fees, those $500 to $1,000 a month lot rent, that's going to go up. Okay, and it's equivalent to a paid off house and just paying for your HOA and insurances per month, that $5,000 to $1,000. That's why the landlord, the property owner, gives you that fee, because that fee covers their fee. Remember, when you rent, all that's happening is you're covering the basic fees that the landlord has to incur. Okay, and usually with a little cherry on top, they also have a little profit margin in there. So it's not like you're getting away from it. Renting is okay though in a short-term 1 to 5 year range. After 5 years, you got to look back like, you spent a lot of money on renting, and you're a lot vulnerable as you get older and older, because you're if like an 8% interest rate scares you, renting is 100% interest rate. Okay, because it's going all to interest, no equity. You're not paying off any principal. And again, if you have the financial wherewithal to rent forever and you choose to, nothing wrong with that. But you also got to ask yourself, if you have the financial wherewithal to do that, you have the financial wherewithal to buy property in the area you want, even if it's an RV lot, even if it's a piece of land you could legally live on or whatever. And so don't mentally disable yourself. Don't mentally or emotionally put yourself in a corner. You have options. And what you're trying to do is position yourself for when you're older in life so that you're living where you want, you have equity in the place you live, and you're not subject to a lot of variables, and you have this security. Like social security is something that keeps people in their vulnerable age have some basic income. I mean, it's not enough to live a great life if you solely depend on that. For most people, you're going to need other supplemental sources. But you want to have, as you get older, what you're trying to do is mitigate your risk, because you're more risky physically, mentally, emotionally. You're closer to death, right? So you want your kind of housing to be stable, you want your income to be stable, you want your supplement, your investments. You're not going crazy, and you're not doing these crazy adventures. And when you're full-time RVing, you're living this crazy adventurous life, and if you don't have a home base that you own and you're not anchored in the area you live, that lot rent can go up, the campground fees, gas can go up, you can get, God forbid, in a car accident. You're in a volatile lifestyle in the most vulnerable years of your life without a home base. Okay, with a home base, at least that's your security. Like Social Security, your home base security. Okay? Because, like I said, lot rent going to go up, campground fees going to go up, gas going to go up. Your depreciating asset, your RV or your van's going down. And even if you buy it when you're 60, when you're 80, that RV is going to be in ruins. Okay, and so this is something I was trying to figure out. I mean, I said, well, I could take the risk. Again, I don't have pets, kids. I could take the depreciating asset on an RV. But before I do that, I want to buy a home base, a piece of property. Whether it be a single family house you could park an RV next to, whether it be an RV lot that you own, that you can legally live in the RV, that you own the land or have equity in the community, or whatever. I wanted to buy that first, that appreciating asset, and then buy the RV second, the depreciating asset, so that I have a level of security and stability for the volatility of the RV lifestyle, the depreciating value of the RV lifestyle. There's value and experience, and RVs are cool, but they're more risky, especially as you're older in life, especially if you're on low income, because you put yourself in a very vulnerable situation. And I've talked about storms and different things, and there's insurance, and I don't want to make it sound like it's all negative, because there's great things to everything. Everything has a pro and con. You got to live your life. We're all going to die, so I get all that. I don't want to give an unfair evaluation, but I want to say, from my evaluation, is buy property you own, put your financial net worth in appreciating assets, and if you want to buy some depreciating assets, let it be a lower percentage of your net worth. Because you can travel out of a car just as easy as you could travel out of an RV. And when you have a home base to go back to that you own, yes, you pay property taxes, insurance, and HOAs, but if it's below your means in an area you want to live, it's the equivalent of not just rent, but ownership, as you pay it off, because your rent's just going to go up, and it's 100% interest, and you get no equity. So in the first couple of years of home ownership, it sucks, because, you don't have much equity, you're paying a lot of things, but as you own it over time, it appreciates, okay? It appreciates. But it's like the opposite. Like with an RV, you buy it, I got no rent. You're happy initially, but then over time it depreciates. And that's the difference in appreciation and depreciating. But respect to everyone and love to everyone. And I understand everyone's in a different situation. But I want to share these thoughts, my experience, in love, not in judgment. And maybe it'll help someone, but you do what you want. This is my opinion. Thank you.